Hello there, Sorry from 17 once again. This is more Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is Galactic Assault on the map Kamino. I'm playing the officer. My throat is trash, so I apologise if I sound like I'm dying. I really like Kamino. Kamino is one of those maps where DICE has done their best to change the spawns, to adapt the way that the flow of this first section and the final section works, and I think altogether it's kind of resulted in the exact same thing happening almost all the time. It's one of those things where, regardless of what they change, the first push is always quite difficult if the team is willing to spawn trap you, and the final push can be quite difficult if the team is willing to really stop you getting down those corridors. So the only really universal truth of Kamino is that the droids can generally have a pretty tough time on it. That being said, you can still be very effective if you're a person like myself who flanks. Battlefront is one of those games where, wow, the dude, Jesus, please, where did that even come from? Interesting though, right? Somebody drops a bubble, saves all their lives as I'm blind for 40 minutes because flashbangs should last longer, and then when I do get my sight back, I'm being slapped by a fellow officer. Officer on officer violence right there, and that's a Vanguard. Chris, don't get shot by that, don't lose this fight. Oh no, one more, anyone, heal. Oh, there's the disrupt, did we stop him? Kinda. Oh, I didn't heal. What was I playing at? I should have rolled to the left and done the heal and then come back. But instead, Johnny level 1 comes with his basic gun and deals some default damage to me. But you'll notice, every time I play Kamino, if I've shared it on the channel, if you've seen me play it, I always go this left-hand side, because no one else does. And it doesn't make sense to me, because it's one of the easier ways to get into the back of their spawn and really cause some chaos. And I haven't even shown you the super sexy secret action divey flanking route that doesn't involve coming into contact with anybody that almost nobody knows about, and that one's even stronger, and it's easy to do as well, and you lead you directly to the enemy spawns without anybody seeing you, and then you can stop them from getting to the objective so the rest of your team can push those objective points, hit that button and get us to the landing pads. But the problem, as with most matches on Battlefront, is I don't really know what people do when they play this game. Like, this Darth Maul guy, he plays to win. He gets kills, he's a slayer, he gets his hero, he suppresses the enemy team, he supports us, and we do the objectives and we win. That's what he does. I'm very similar-minded. I'll do the objective if need be, if no one else is doing it. He's shooting at people who aren't even enemies. I love it. A lot of detail in this game, so it's nice to see that. But I'm the same kind of way. I push forward, I get myself in bad places, I do as much damage as I can, I get my hero, I continue onwards. But what do other people do? Like, I see full teams of people finishing full Galactic Assault matches with less than 10 eliminations. They're all the way down on the board, so they're not even doing the objective, so what exactly do they do? Do you think they're just like that guy you just saw, who was stood over there, like, chilling? Because I don't know. Like, right now, I could go onto the landing pad and support Maul, but I'm waiting for the team to push further up. So I'm just kind of picking people off with the SC-44, and I see a couple of the clones coming down that landing pad. I see the LAAT giving that Maul some trouble, which is frustrating because if I go to the landing pad, that creature in the sky can shoot through the planes. Like, it shoots through geometry. It's like, just then, if it hits you and you're inside that plane, you die, because the splash goes through walls. But luckily, somebody made it piss off. Maul's still in the capture spot. On his own, I'll have you know, me and Maul are the only guys on this spot. The team doesn't have the other landing pad, so you stood there wondering to yourself, what were people doing, you know? And the most frustrating part of Battlefront, outside of, you know, all the controversy and all the other things that people don't like, is I had the best match ever in like the first week of playing this game on this map. It was an overtime that lasted for about 30 minutes. It was one of the longest games I've ever had. I think I got something like 90, 98, 92, 95. I can't remember what it was. It was a lot of eliminations. I wasn't very good at the game at the time. I was getting kind of shit on. But I had a super fun, contested, competitive match on Kamino. And I'll never forget it because it was amazing. And it was on this point. Every time we got the landing pads, they contested it. It was two teams trying to win. It was crazy. There was vehicles, there was the planes, like they're hammering me right now. There was all kinds of madness going on, and it was one of those perfect, beautiful moments of Battlefront where everything just feels super hectic, and it feels like two armies trying to win. Like right now, I feel like their army's trying to win way more than mine is, even though my guys are all on the left there pushing, so apparently they're doing something, and hopefully they're doing a lot, and I'm just kind of backing off, giving it some space, seeing how this plays out. Playing Bosk a little passively, because you can play him in a lot of different ways. I personally prefer to use him hyper-aggressively, but I'm also very conscious of that LAAT, which my team has no will to shoot for some reason, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. They also have a lot of starfighters, and there is a lot of... This could potentially be a gameplay that was gotten when Explosive Shot was around. So when you're playing somebody like Bosk, and you bump into those heavies with that, you could get stripped very quickly. But as it stands, me and Maul are just kind of backing up a little bit. Look how much their team is pushing. Maul's getting in there because it's kind of what he has to do. I'm just chilling back, I'm staying here, I'm seeing what's happening, I'm seeing what we can do, seeing how it works, hoping that we can get a nice contested game. I see a specialist over there, put a couple of rounds down the range. You have to lead your bullets in this game because of the way that it works, and this guy's doing a pretty good job of duking me. And then there's that guy stood still, and if you haven't realised at this point in online gaming that standing still against human beings is a bad idea, I'm hoping he'll finally learn. But our team managed to get the points, no thanks from me. The moment I pushed in and got aggressive with my grenade launchers, everybody fucked off, and then my thermal vision didn't work. So that's fun, but that's the game, you know, that's how it works. And it shows you a really important lesson just then. I didn't have any faith in my boys to push this outside of that mall, and they still managed to get it done. So the team initially wasn't impressing me, but they definitely came through on the second portion. Bad news is, that's the easiest push, unless you're up against some people who know what they're doing. These next pushes can be much more difficult if you don't have map control. And one of the great ways of getting map control on Kamino, as this guy goes into an explosive sentry and then gets immediately headshotted. There's a specialist too. Why the fuck would you pick specialist at this part of the map? It boggles my mind, dude. I can understand... Oh, that's a shotgun. That is a Vanguard. He's coming straight for me. Did you see his posture in the thermal vision? The easiest way to spot Vanguards, guys, if you're having problems with them, is not only will they go in and close, or some kind of voice line when they're near you, but they'll additionally make that... It's like a kind of train noise when they're moving. And then, of course, their posture will be hovelled over holding the shotgun, and then they will run faster than normal. They are all the tells you need to know that if that guy gets close to you as boss, they'll kill you in two shots if they hit you. If they hit you in the face, they can kill you in close to one. I've been nearly instantly killed by a Vanguard to the face, and Bosk has a pretty fat head, so be really careful. But on this particular sequence, the doorway, the other objective that I'm not looking at is the easiest one to get. So you want to leave that one for the last. If you can capture this one, you can win this phase. This one is the one where they can spawn into the back of it, and you can't put pressure on that back too much. You can put pressure on the sides, but the back is kind of up to them. So you can kind of get around. They don't want to go through this room for some reason. There's a Palpatine in there. Do you see them? A bunch of guys staring at a door like they're playing COD or something. It's really weird. There's me and Palpatine in here. There's no one contesting it at all. And those guys are all like, there's going to be bad guys in there, fellas. Let's sit by the door. Who knows? Couple of heavies. Take them out from behind. Palpatine's going to do work here. If you have a Bosk and a Palpatine on Kamino, this is going to be a landslide. And I'm going to put some mines in front of this door because I always do it. He could shoot through that door back in the day, but I don't know if that's still working. There goes the mines, there goes the heavy, there goes the... He used lightning on heavies? What an interesting choice from the Palpatine. That looks like a... Is that Rey? That is Rey. Yeah, you can tell by her posture. In the current balance of the game, I think Rey is the strongest hero in the game. I think she was always incredibly strong, but it wasn't for the reasons that people were thinking. The reasons I think she's so powerful is because not only does she give her entire team wall hacks, which turns crap players into slightly less crap players, but she can also take herself off the map. If you have somebody who's good with lightsaber heroes using Rey, and they use the ability to take themselves off the map to sneak up on heroes and do damage, she can take out entire teams of heroes, and she makes it look easy. And it's scary. If you've never faced a team with a good Rey, you've never experienced just how dangerous she can be. That being said, Bosk is a really good counter to Rey, because not only can he drop the mines which do great damage, but his grenade launcher is one of the easiest ways to kill her, because she cannot block the explosive damage. That is Chewbacca! He went for the slam! He missed the slam! He threw the rape grenade! He didn't get it! Now we get to gangbang him! Go on, Palp, get him! I've got no cooldowns though, and Bosk without cooldowns can be quite dangerous to push a Chewbacca. I don't know what it is about Chewie's gun on Bosk, it hurts him so much, and I don't feel like it used to work that way. I kind of feel like in some of the tweaks to the heroes and the patches, I think one of the features that they didn't mention is that they made it so that Bosk doesn't take the same damage as he used to, because... It's one of two things, right? Either people have adjusted to the game and got better at shooting heroes and shooting Bosk when he jumps and things, or he doesn't take the same kind of defensive damage that he used to, because now you can get stripped. Back when I first started playing this game, I could be in the middle of a full team, jumping around, shooting, and nobody hurt me that much. I'd take like 1 to 2 blocks of life, and that was it. Nowadays, there's times when I've jumped into a bunch of people with my grenade launcher on, and I'm dead. Like, it makes no sense. There was no heavy with a sentry, there was no officer with a really good gun, there was just a bunch of random dudes. Like, it was almost like I touched an ATST, which if you've never done that, don't do that. I learned a very valuable lesson the other day when I tried to kill it with Ray. I got instantly killed with full life. But I killed it, which is kind of cool. That's a Yoda. Speaking of Yoda, right? I was playing Kashyyyk the other night. I got snuck up on by a Yoda. Didn't even see the bastard. In the night. It was night time. He has a green lightsaber that glows like bloody Christmas. He snuck up on me. He was attacking me. But you know, because the FOV is so shit and all you can see is Bosk's ass, I couldn't see what was damaging me. So I was running forward, getting hit, thinking it was a starfighter, and I got all tunnel visioned about jumping forward and getting away. I didn't look at my map to see that I had a Yoda up my ass, and by the time I noticed, the bugger killed me. All this time playing this game, all this time shitting on Yodas, and whoever that player was, he did the perfect thing in that particular situation to make me brain fart and wreck me. I've never died to Yoda as Bosk like that. It was crazy. And admittedly, Yoda's really, really good now. Yoda was always pretty good if you used him right, but now he's way better. They've definitely upped him to a much more competitive hero, and he's kind of the mortal enemy of a Bosk player because you can shit on him, but he can shit on you, and he's one of those heroes that is very difficult to kill as standard infantry, so you need to kind of overwhelm him with vehicles, or maybe a hero, or maybe a bunch of troopers getting lucky with explosive sentry or something. This is crazy though. This just goes to show this final push, when you have good heroes and your team's willing to move forward, this gets really filthy because they can't even get out of their spawn. And their spawn is down those steps, and I think they've moved the spawn back. I think they spawned at the bottom of those steps or in that room, and that's why that final push was so difficult to do. But as it stands, it's way easier now to stop people even getting out of those rooms, and I don't really know how you fix it, but I think DICE is probably thinking of adding about 20 ATSTs.